Hope is all we have, all we need on this journey. Love is what we give when we receive, so keep it burning. Gift your soul and let it be. Soon you'll find your gift of legacy. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you.
Faith will keep you strong where you belong. Just believe it. Dreams to help you grow, to reap and sow. You receive it.
So gift your soul and let it be. Soon you'll find your gift of legacy. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you. I'm ready to color my world, ready to give to you.
What a way to start the evening.
What a way to start the week.
Yeah, and I love it that Angela's on the call here. She's our beautiful voice there, and she's just singing along to herself.
Oh, we've missed our Angela. She's been traipsing all over the world. So for those of you that have been wondering where she's been with us all along, just from the sidelines. So she's kind of sidelined herself from presenting, but definitely not from GL. But hopefully we'll have her back in the hot seat soon.
Definitely, right? We getting some more people coming on. So wonderful to be presenting with you this evening, Candz. Always love it, love the energy. And we're going to jump straight in.
Yeah, so I will introduce you first, and I'm guessing that you're driving. I don't mind driving, but I'll allow you if you want to.
Oh, well, you're going to be doing nuts and bolts. You're going to be doing numbers tonight, so that is it easier? I can drive, but I haven't started my engine. Have you got it?
Yeah, no, I've got it. So let me introduce Tim. I have it all set up just in case one of us drops off anyway. But Tim has been wonderful to get to know. He is so innovative. And in the last week, it's been wonderful to watch him because he's been on a Tony Robbins course. And boy, can you see the motivation in him. He's been recording videos and creating Facebook groups and all sorts of stuff. Obviously not for GL because that's not allowed. But it's been so wonderful to just see him on his journey. And, you know, everyone that does a Tim Robbins course or anything to do with self-development, it's only good and it really allows a person to grow. But he has worked in hospitality for 27 years, up until 2018, where he became happily unemployable. And Tim said that pursuing profits from his own business was far more exciting than earning a salary from a job. And like he always likes to say, he was very disappointed when he left that job and they stopped paying him a salary. But he is now a digital nomad and has been traveling South Africa for the past year. I think he's in his last place actually on his South African tour before he starts to settle for a couple of months. So he's been doing that with his wife and his 2 fur kids. And they sold their home, put all their possessions in storage, and they are still traveling as we speak. They're just a little bit more settled and staying in places for a little bit longer. His interests are personal development, just like I said. So he's been on fire this week, and he absolutely loves the online space with business and personal development. And his passion is really in sharing others' help to achieve their goals with the amazing knowledge that he has. And of course, Gift of Legacy is perfectly aligned to his values of health, wealth, and education.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I always want to hear myself speak and what I have to say after an introduction like that. But my wonderful host over here, Candz, has been in the hairdressing industry for 22 years. And of that, the last 11, she's had her own salon in Cape Town. And if I understand correctly, was really the rich and famous were her clients, the area that it is in a very upmarket area, so she got to know a lot of people. But back injuries and COVID and a re-look at her career made her sell it and decided to really re-strategize. After 22 years in one industry, I can understand that. She moved to a beautiful part of the Western Cape called Wilderness, and exactly as the name Wilderness, it is wild, it is green, it is lush, but it is beautiful and it's on the coast. And a wonderful area there. So she's got a very big passion in the gifting economy. When she came across it way before what we're talking about, Gift of Legacy this evening. And one of her big passions is finding that she could actually help people live a better life. And she loves helping, teaching, and self-development for people who are ready and willing to learn. So with her corporate background, she's had a lot of travel with before she actually owned her own salon as well, and also her huge heart. Candz brings the heart. She talks about me bringing self-development. Well, without the heart, there's no point, and that's exactly what Gift of Legacy is all about. It is coming from here, not here. I'm a here guy, she's a there lady, and I'm learning how to move down to here. So it's really feeling, and it is very much so that. So I love sharing with her because our different personalities just blend beautifully to give you an introduction into something very profound. So while she goes and finds the page there, and we've shaken it up a little bit, I'm actually doing the feeling stuff, and she's going to do the numbers thing. So we're pushing ourselves out of our normal comfort zone, which is why Candz is going to be running this evening. So very quick on this. When I came across the gifting economy, it was in January of last year. It was just off the bat. I just lost a lot more money for, in fact, the umpteenth time in online businesses. And so I came in with a lot of skepticism. So if you've come across business propositions or opportunities online, or ways to make money or get rich quick schemes and all that, well, okay, that's not what we're here for. But perhaps you know of somebody who's lost money, or you have yourself as well, and you're a little bit skeptical. You're in very, very good company. That was exactly where I was when I first saw this. It didn't take me long to realize there was something rather unique about this environment. And at the time, I asked myself the question, if I've been in online businesses for 6 years, how come I've never seen this before? And perhaps I was just not ready, and I needed to be in the right time. And that is so true, because if I'd been presented it a year prior, I wouldn't have looked twice at it because I had no need. So it came to me when I was in need. And that was very profound. It took me a while to realize that. But we're going to go through something which is very different. Okay, as you bring up that screen up.
I am indeed.
There we go. So she's bringing that up. I'm just going to get rid of this. So if you're here for the first time, you're perhaps going to need to watch this a few times. I think it was maybe the 4th or 5th before it really connected and I got it. And then when I got it, well, that's why I'm still here today, because I got it, and I would like to help everybody else around get it. Because when you get it, you stick to it. So the gifting economy, it's an activity about creating abundance. It is an invitation only. We do not promote it on social media, as Candz actually mentioned just now. You want to bring people who fit into the heart of this style of economy of making money. Before we get down into nuts and bolts, it's important to understand that we are not financial advisors, we are not brokers. We're here, Candz and myself, we're unpaid people, we're part of the community, but we just love sharing what it is that we do. So no one within Gift of Legacy is telling you what to do with your money. We're just going to share what we're doing. And we can click forward. I don't know if I've got a slow screen. There we go. That's the disclaimer. So we are here just to share information with you, but at the same time, we're talking from personal experience. So fact, not fiction. I don't know if we've got a delay. Is my Wi-Fi here? I'm not too sure. Anyway, Gift of Legacy is a gifting economy, and we've got a very unique algorithm that drives and sustains the movement of gifts. Gifts, in our terms here, is monetary between individuals globally. And you're going to see some numbers just now, which, wow, are very, very profound numbers. We all understand that the economy around the world has changed over the last 2.5 years. And we really need to learn to think differently about the way that we actually generate cash flow in our homes and our environments around us. So going and just having the job and thinking the normal way is going to be very short-lived, and perhaps you're in an environment where you are concerned about the stability of your job or your business if you've got one. How long is it going to be around? What happens if the government pull the rug out from underneath me like they did 2 years ago when we were going through all that pandemic chaos? And you realize then, well, you need an additional stream of income. So whatever your reason, you can read what's on the screen there. That's your why. Are you looking to take control? Have you got debt you need to clear? Do you need additional income? Has your spouse or partner or family member lost their job or their business closed over the economic climate at the moment? The economy's in chaos around the world. Americans in recession. We're heading that way as well. It's going to be a long, hard slog to get anywhere sustainable. So thinking out of the box is most definitely required. And I couldn't think of anything more out of the box than a gifting economy. So we're global. And from January of this year, when we launched, going from 0 to, I believe it's 107 countries around the world and growing. There is no limitation of borders, no restrictions of which countries you can operate in, or you have friends and family wherever you are. Share it with them. And you'll see later on all the different languages around the world. And I personally believe it's 7 days a week, presented 24 hours a day somewhere. We're about uplifting communities and ourselves as well, and creating abundance. And there's my key thing, self-development. If I came into this environment purely on the knowledge and the experience I'd gained 27 years in hospitality, I'd be a colossal failure. I would not be speaking to you this evening or sharing this with as much passion. You will need to understand that there's processes you need to learn. And that's fine. We're here to share that and help you with it. Sacred economics. Now, this form of an economy has been around, well, for centuries, but in this form dates back to the 1960s in a modern culture. 100% legal, been off the mainstream system for decades, which is perhaps why I hadn't seen it before, and maybe you haven't heard of this either. And in Africa, we call it the Ubuntu culture. It's about communities. And everywhere in the world, there is a community which is around helping others in a community. So be it that you live in a small village or small town in South Africa. I love representing Clarence. It's a small town in sort of in the middle of nowhere. But they have a very strong community where the community spirit uplifts everybody else around them. And that's exactly what sacred economics is all about. Blessing millions, giving hope, education, abundance. Wonderful, but that's a big number. In fact, this is outdated and it needs to actually be increased. $40 million was the amount after 6 months that Gift of Legacy members had distributed amongst each other. 40 million US.
On Friday, we'll get the figures again.
On Friday, did you say?
Yeah.
Friday, updated numbers coming. Join the Zoom on Friday. Get the latest info. Decentralized, meaning no company or institution or broker or trader is involved here. Gift of Legacy is unique in its environment because it holds no money. It's purely an interactive website that connects people from around the world. So when you register, all that you're doing is creating a username, putting your cell phone number and email address so that people can communicate with each other to send the gifts, which is monetary. So all you need is a computer, smartphone. WhatsApp and Telegram are essential, as this is where the communications happen. So you get the updates and the changes and the improvements and the successes of people as well, and hear how it's benefited them. Here's a golden nugget for me. Peer-to-peer, this caught my attention. Previously, I've lost money online. Why? I've relied on the honesty and trust of somebody else to hold my money for me. And that's typically what happens in online platforms, where here the money moves person to person. And Candz is going to explain this to you in detail. So no third party controls your money. You don't have to ask somebody else for your money. It's not online. It's not in tokens. It's not in cryptocurrency. It's nothing but purely your choice of how you would like to send a gift to somebody. And when it's your turn, receive it from them. I'm going to cover that for you as well. That's a massive golden nugget. Here's another one, perpetual. And as Candz said, I always talk about the fact that 27 years in hospitality, when I left my last job, no one was paying me anymore. All that blood, sweat, and tears you put into your business, your boss's job, and then when you stop working, they stop paying you. Well, what if there was a way you could follow a set system, and we're teaching you, we're going to share with you, this is the system. And you follow this to the T. You did it once. And you could be gifted recurring, ongoing, repeatedly, sustainably, over and over and over again for generations, as long as you maintain this system. Not another one or somebody else's alternative to this. No, they can go and create their own gifting economy. This one, it's sustainable and ongoing. So you may see that this is a little bit different to something that you've been presented before. And I think pretty much most people have been invited to come and listen to an online presentation about an opportunity to make some money, blah, blah, blah. I've never come across something unique like this before. Give this its time. Then start. And Candz is now going to share with you the money so you can decide for yourself if it's worth your while. I'll catch up with you just now. Candz.
Oh, yes. So many people say, oh, it sounds too good to be true. And I always love to say it is good and it is true. It's absolutely amazing. And, like Tim said earlier, we have to do something to change our reality. The reality we're in is crumbling right in front of our eyes. And especially this year, I don't know, in the last 2 months, I've noticed a lot of things happening worldwide. So it's literally crumbling. And here comes this beautiful program, Gift of Legacy, the most amazing activity. And it has the ability to change our reality. It absolutely does. So I ask you to open your hearts and really just be open to this new possibility, because it has changed the lives of so many people that I've witnessed across the world. And it can change your life if you're willing to be active in it. So don't try and understand it, because to understand something, you're standing under it. So you don't want to be doing that. Rather go for the inner standing, and that comes with the knowing that we're born with. It's our instinct, it's our intuition. And if you can just follow that light in your heart, you'll be part of this amazing change for this new reality that we so desperately require. So we love to call this riding the boards of abundance. And whenever I greet somebody on a board, I always say, enjoy your journey with riding the boards of abundance. But for the next couple of slides, we would like you to focus on the yellow circle, which represents you on your journey. You join your first board and you gift your legend $100. It is always $100. It's not 100 Rand. It's not 100 euros. It's $100 across the world globally. You then share Gift of Legacy with like-minded and like-hearted people who will in turn do the same. We're going to take you through the journey of the 4 boards, because it doesn't only start and end at the $100 board. You've got the 400, the 1,600, and then finally the $5,000 board. We're going to explain your role as a gifter, builder, guide, and legend. And believe it or not, and this is where the too good to be true comes in, you will receive gifts on your first cycle through the boards, which will total $42,700. How long will it take? Well, that depends entirely on you and how badly you want it, and how many people you're inviting to come on this journey, and how you look after those people that you invite on this journey with you. And then once you get through that first cycle, on your perpetual cycle, you will then be totaling $49,700. And that can be over and over and over again. Some people are doing it in 5 months. Other people are doing it probably in a year. Some people will take 2 years. But regardless of the time, remember, time's also from the old reality. It's not going to be around anymore. I mean, look how fast time is moving. It's already Tuesday night, and it was just the weekend. So don't worry about the time. Just have your goal in front of you. And the goal is having an incredible community that you can come to any time of the day and approach, and somebody will greet you with open arms. And of course, you know, the money and the gifts are just an added bonus. But when the financial system falls away, which will eventually happen, what will we have if we don't have community? So for me, community is extremely, extremely important. And yes, the little hook is the wonderful gifts that you receive. But once you've been in this for a while, you'll know within your soul that it's about community and working together. And once we get this right, we'll be able to uplift communities, build our own roads. We won't need governments any longer. So let's get started. So how do we start? Well, that is what a board looks like. I'll go through it in a little bit more detail on the next slide. And like I said, you enter by gifting $100 to your legend on the board you join. It's the one and only time you will ever take money out of your own pocket. And I mean, how does it get better than that? You get invited to an incredible community that really is working together, because we know that this reality is no longer working for us. So we know that there's a new reality we're working towards. And all you're doing is you donating $100 to come into this community. It's not your life savings. It's not $100 every week or every month. It is once off. The rest is absolutely magic. So gifting is purely peer-to-peer. 100% of all gifts are sent directly to the legend. So when you join a board and you are asking the legend for their details and you are gifting $100, they are going to get $100. The system doesn't get anything. There's no middleman, none of that stuff, like Tim said. And we recommend, before you actually click that join button, that you make sure that you have got airtime, PayPal, World Remits, Revolut, some sort of crypto wallet set up, because then you are really set up for success. You've got all your payment gateways in place so that when the legend asks you for airtime, you know how to use it and you're able to gift in a timeliness manner. And like I said before, no middleman, no third party ever, which is fantastic. So this is what a board looks like. And you will start with your $100 entry and you will exit with $800. So let's go and unpack that a little bit. So you've got your left hemisphere and you've got your right hemisphere. In the middle, you've got the legend. On either side of the legend, you've got the two guides. On either side of the two guides, you've got your two builders. And on either side of the builders, you've got 4 gifters. When you start off as a gifter, it's a really beautiful process, because it's the first step in following your heart and trusting and believing in the person that gave you this beautiful sacred invitation that is so special. And I'm telling you, in the next year, everybody's going to be looking for Gift of Legacy. It's going to go absolutely crazy. But you get on the board, like we said, you contact, as soon as you click join, you contact that legend and you say, hi, I'm Candz. Where would you like your gift? I'm from South Africa and this is what I have available. Of course, it's the legend's choice at the end of the day where they would like to receive it. And they will get back to you and say, hi, Candz, so wonderful to have you here. I'm from the US, so let's do PayPal. And that's how it will work. You'll then get confirmed on the board. And of course, the other gifters will then follow you, which is wonderful. 8 gifters will land on the board, which means that the legend will get $800 of gifts. And remember, only $100 out of that pocket. Then the board splits and each guide becomes their own legend on new boards, but we're following you now. So you move into a builder position. And this is the single most important role, I believe, that you can have, because this is where you are doing what the name says. You are building your legacy. You are bringing in people that can help drive your success. It doesn't matter who you join. It matters who you bring in and how you nurture the beautiful sub-community that you are going to grow and add into our beautiful global community. So your gifters will be A and B. And then, of course, you've got the rest of the gifters that come onto the board. And this new legend will now get $800 in gifts. The boards will split. Again, the two guides will now become legends on their own board. And you will now be in a guide position. As you can see, builder A and B have now moved with you, and they will be bringing in their own gifters, and you will be help guiding them and nurturing them. And that is why you're in a guide position. You're also a little bit of a support to the legend, because 9 times out of 10, that legend will be your inviter. So really wonderful. And then, of course, your builders will bring in their gifters. So builder A will bring in C and D. Builder B will bring in E and F. And then, like we said before, the board splits. When either hemisphere fills, the guide will split off to become a legend on their own board. Remember, the first board will only complete once all 8 gifters have been accepted. But because this hemisphere, the left hemisphere, is full, it now will split off, and you will become a legend. A and B will now become the guides on either side of you, and C, D, E, and F will be next to you. So there it is, all laid out very beautifully. And of course, what does that mean now that you're in the legend position? You will now be getting $800 worth of gifts. How does it get better than that? So remember, we're going back to your original board. And if your original board is not complete, once you've received all of your 8 gifts as a legend, when you complete, you will now come back to your original board to help with the movements. So nobody will get left behind. And the stronger side will always support the side that needs help. And then, of course, if you've got invitees following you, they'll come into this position, and then you'll just move through the boards. So really, really amazing. Remember, you need to be a really good steward of your gifts, because on your first round, not all the gifts that come to you are yours. They actually belong to the community. So what we suggest is when you get those first 4 gifts, you fast track. You take that $400 and you fast track and you place yourself on the silver board. Then what you can do is you get 3 more gifts. Those are yours to keep. And your 4th gift will then be used for your perpetual bronze board. The way that Gift of Legacy as an activity has been designed is it is designed so that you can participate on all 4 boards. It was never designed for the $100 board to only be ridden over and over again. Because why would you want to stop at $800, or in this case, $700, because you'd be using $100. So you make sure on your first round on the bronze board, you're going to hold back $500, give it back to the community. Believe you me, it comes back 8 times, 4 times. So you will then be left with $300, which is still more than you started with. So you've got your $100 back and $200 extra. So really beautiful, and just an amazing, amazing way to multiply your finances. So like I said, perpetual journey. Remember, you will then go back to a perpetual bronze board. You'll gift your legend $100, and then everybody that came with you on your journey, when they complete on their bronze boards, they will also follow you onto your perpetual journey. And when you get to legend, you will now receive $700, because you only require that $100 to go back in. And this goes on as long as you're willing to gift the legend. Each time you join a new board, you will have this going over and over and over again to infinity and beyond. Our silver board, this is where it starts getting exciting. You enter with $400 and you exit with $3,200. Now, the way that it works is exactly the same. Everybody that's joined your community that you've built underneath you will drive you through the $400 board, then to the $1,600 board, and then to the $5,000 board. Participate in your own rescue. Make sure you are bringing people that understand the value of how important it is to bring people. Because if you just stop at 2 and you don't assist those two with their two, how do you expect to move forward? So you get to legend, or let me say you get your first 4 gifts, and you take that $1,600 and you place yourself on that gold board. You fast track, you make sure you get on there, because if you fast track with those first 4 gifts, no matter what board it is, you might land up on a board that goes much faster than the board that you're on, the lower board. So really important to take those first 4 gifts, get onto a higher board, use that $1,600. And then again, you can keep the other 3 gifts, and your last gift, make sure you are using for your perpetual journey, which means that you still get to keep $1,200. Now that is a really nice chunk of change. And I think it's in any country. I think even in the States, that's a nice little bit of pocket money to have. So then you move on to your gold board. But before that, we talk about your perpetual journey with the 400 board. So your silver. Everybody that is now being auto-joined that completes behind you will be part of your journey to get you to the legend position. So when you get to legend, now you don't have to use $1,600. You can actually keep $2,800 because you only need $400 for each perpetual round. And $2,800 is even better than $1,200. So it just keeps gifting you over and over and over again. I was actually with someone today that said that her silver board's done so well, she's gone through twice perpetually in 2 months. That's absolutely amazing. For me, not so much. You know, mine can take 3 to 4 months. So she's just been really active and building a fantastic team. And she's over the moon that she's been through her perpetual silver board twice in 2 months. So once a month. I mean, how fantastic is that? So you get to your gold board, you enter as a gifter with your $1,600, and then you exit with $12,800. That's 8 times $1,600. Remember, you hold back those first couple of gifts. You're going to be just short of $5,000 with the 4 gifts, but you make a plan to get on that board, and then you get to keep some, and you hold back $1,600. But look what you get to keep. So yes, you're gifting away to the community $6,600. You get to keep just under half of that, $6,200. That is absolutely amazing. And then you get your perpetual journey, which is even better because you get $11,200 on each round, because you only ever need to use $1,600 each time you go back in and also join your perpetual journey. Over and over and over again. As long as you keep gifting the legend, you will be gifted to the 4th and final platinum board. That is our 5,000 board. Like I said, you enter with $5,000 and you exit with $40,000. Sure, just have to take a moment, take a deep breath. It's absolutely incredible. And you have then completed round 1. What's great is you only need to hold back $5,000 because there's nowhere to go from there except perpetual. And you get to keep $35,000 in your pocket to do with whatever you like. And the fantastic thing is, it's a perpetual journey over and over again. So like I said before, this activity has been designed for all 4 boards to be ridden. And that is why we call it riding the boards of abundance. So take a screenshot of this. This is what I'm talking about. You've got your $100 board. We're on your perpetual journey. You're going to get $700 in gifts over and over again. On your silver board, you're going to get $2,800 in gifts over and over again. Your gold board, $11,200 in gifts over and over again. And lastly, your $35,000 on that platinum board over and over and over again. And it's happened to at least 35 people so far. And we've only been going for 7 months now. Absolutely fantastic. So just to recap, first cycle through all the boards, because remember, you are still growing the community and helping the community. You are going to receive $42,700. And then on your perpetual cycle through all 4 boards, you will be receiving $49,800. $700. Now, let me tell you, money makes life much easier, and it really puts you in a position to help other people. And most of you that are on here are here because you want to help other people. You are the kind of people that will put your oxygen mask on last. And this is an opportunity for you to do that first and help those around you, because everybody can do this if they just put their mind and their hearts to it. Over to you, Tim.
Oh, amazing stuff. Thanks so much, Candz. Very well explained. And now you can perhaps see why I said at the beginning that I'd recommend you're going to watch this a few times until you really grasp what we're actually sharing with you. So quick guidelines here. Firstly, $100 goes to that legend, as Candz has said. This is when you invite and you start talking to two like-minded people. You're going to speak to a lot more than that, but you're looking for two like-minded, like-hearted people who are actually going to do this. You're going to help your two invitees to do the same. This is a rinse and repeat. Just follow the simple stages and steps. So what you do, you're going to show those people. That's it, perpetually. Once you've completed your first cycle, you'll be auto-joined onto your hire board. Once you've confirmed as a gifter on the hire board, you'll be auto-joined to the board of the same value that you just completed. This is that perpetual position. You gift the legend within 24 hours of joining a new board. That is a recommendation. From my personal perspective, when I join a board, I gift the legend immediately. Why? Well, when I'm legend, I would like the same respect given back to me. I'd like to receive immediately. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Perpetual positions ensures the integrity and the sustainability of gift of legacy. And it's important to note, you're not going to advance further than your bronze board if you have not invited your confirmed two gifters. You're not going to be kicked off. You're going to be sidelined. You'll still be there. So when you have them, you're ready to move on. That's why it's highly recommended. Join the system, join the training, follow the processes. When you are in that second position, the builder, that's when your two come in. That's the ideal position to help people out. So what makes us different? Very user-friendly. Such a simple website to operate. Being the fact there's no money on it, it's purely interactive, connecting you there. Fail-safe system. Candz has already explained how the board splitting works so that nobody gets left behind, and it really does work. However, don't sit back and think, it's going to happen automatically. This wonderful, innovative algorithm is going to take care of it for me. Well, yes, but I always ask people, do you want to do this fast or slow? And the answer is going to be, well, fast. Great. Let's do it fast. How? Speak to two, help them, speak to two, help them, speak to two. The cross-pollination, the algorithm are like bonuses. Somebody else pops on your board that helps speed everybody along, yourself, the community. It's like, wow, this is amazing. But don't wait for it. We're a global community, and understanding that not everybody speaks your language. We're English over here, but there are people from all over the world. There's people from America. They speak a different English. They've got to understand us as well. So we understand and respect cultures from around the world, and the people do communicate differently. We use various online tools to translate, to understand and help each other along. But be aware that everybody we keep it nice and civil and pleasant. No, don't limit yourself to two. Two is the minimum. But if you want to do this fast and you've seen the power and the value of what is here, why are you only going to speak to two people? Come on, share the love. Wonderful community support. There is a support available, but these people are volunteers. Just like Candz and I were volunteering our time to share what we love about this with anybody who really wants to listen. The support group are there to help you, but they are real people that are part of the community who are volunteers. So there is a support, but before you contact the support, what I'd encourage you to do is go online and have a look at the Academy. 95% of questions can be answered by going into the Academy, and then you don't have to wait for somebody to come back. Fast track and board splitting. Now this gets interesting. Candz already mentioned it. You can flick over to that next slide, where she said once you received your first 4 gifts, you don't have to wait for the whole board. You've got your $400, and as long as you've got your 2 confirmed invitees, you can then move from the bronze to the silver. While your bronze board, your first board is still there, you can already be fast-tracked onto the silver board. The same thing applies. Once you're a legend on the silver board, you don't need 2 more people. It's the same 2, minimum. That's all you need. You can actually then fast-track. If you've got the money in your pocket, jump over to the gold board. If you don't, when you've got your first 4 gifts, jump over to the gold board. You don't have to wait to have it finished. You're never going to leave those boards behind. They're very important. Otherwise, you're just going to sit and you're not going to go anywhere. You've got to help your people to follow through. Great, you can get onto the platinum board while you're still on your first bronze board, if you have the cash flow. But you're just going to sit there if you don't do anything on that first board. And so what's the point? So we want to help each other move through. You never forget the people that you're going to help. They're the ones who are going to momentum. That's where it's the community. But this is a wonderful way. If you've got the cash flow, or you jump on a board, it helps also with your money. Let's say that you're on the silver board and you're receiving all these gifts coming in, and you're so scared it's going to just get caught up and you spend it. It's Christmas, it goes to holidays, whatever it is. Take those first 4 gifts and fast track yourself. Then you know you're on that next board. When I moved to the platinum board for the first time, from the gold board, by the time I'd finished my gold board, I'd actually moved up from a gifter onto the builder position. So I was like, hey, I've moved up faster, just because I fast tracked once I'd received those gifts. Wonderful tools, lots of things we can help you. Very important. No promoting social media, not permitted at all. Social media, you're going to attract the people who are after the next new shiny object. And typically there's a lot of scam people on there. Social media is not a platform for promoting this type of product. We just don't do it. Cross-recruiting in Gift of Legacy is not acceptable. That's where you're then finding and meeting other people in the community and saying, hey, I've got something else. Come over to my side, or come join my team. I've got a quick way that we can work the system. No. That's not integrity. That's not credibility. Follow the system. Work with the people that you have got. And if you're working Gift of Legacy correctly, you don't need to jump into the next new shiny object. There's so many gifting economies which have jumped up and down over the last few years. Very few last more than 2 months. 7 months down the line, we're going strong. No filling of spaces. When you invite your 2, there must be like-minded people. Don't put your dog in there. If you do, you're going to have to find 2 people to put in there as well. But that's not going to really help the community. The recommendation from my side would be the first 2 people that you're bringing in are going to be people that you know that you would love to work with, who are going to follow your lead and duplicate the system. Later down the line, put in 90-year-old granny who needs an extra income, knowing you're going to have to then add 2 people to her board, or to her position for her. Be the messenger, not the message. We're here to share the message. You don't have to wait to understand it. Invite people to the Zooms. You'll see on the slide just now the multiple times that we're presenting this for you, plenty of recordings. And listen to another presenter who shares the same story just from their perspective. Attend regular live presentations. Stay connected. The people who disappear and lose, you forget that enthusiasm, that excitement that when you first started, are the people who do not remain connected. Join the training. Wednesdays is training. Fridays is unpacking different things from a different perspective. The Academy's got so much training. Our YouTube channel, wow, Chris and Candz have put a lot of time in there. Trained always beats untrained. And the people who succeed are the ones who've done training. It's as simple as that. So if you want to succeed, be trained. If you say, I don't need it, no problem, but you're not going to succeed. End of story, don't bother joining. Next. It's as simple as that. It is needed. Participate in your own rescue. No guarantees. What you put in is what you're going to get out. Follow the processes. Because we're international, we can't tell you what's happened in your tax laws in your country. Make sure that you are compliant so that you don't get into trouble when you're suddenly receiving $42,000 and the taxman goes, hey, where's this money coming from? Be compliant in your own country. Gift of Legacy operates without any third-party affiliates, ownership, or partners. You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. Follow the system. If you're coming in via somebody else doing something else, completely your own risk, but the recommendation is you don't need to do that. Don't do it. This is the system, pure and simple as we've shown you. Gift of Legacy, 100% peer-to-peer. No funds ever go to the platform. Gifts are always given to the gifter, to the legend on each of the specific boards, and only gift the legend when you land on their board. Make sure it is the right person.
Love hearts. Oh, this is something so close to my heart. And I think everybody that's been doing Gift of Legacy for a while. This is a beautiful initiative that has been launched by GGM. GGM is the NPC that looks after the development of the program. And it it literally has paid for the development of the program since the very beginning and is ongoing. But what's beautiful is the Love Heart initiative is for Gift of Legacy participants that have already got there too. They're building nicely. We've hammered on over and over again about the importance of getting your like-minded and like-hearted people. And like I said, we all want to rescue people. We all want to help people. And yes, there are lots of people that require help for sure. But maybe a lot of them don't have the technology, or they are just not in a position where they can invite two people, or maybe not have a smartphone. But you want to help them because you know that they'll benefit from this. This is where the Love Heart position comes from. It's not going to benefit you or your community that you're building in any way. All the Love Heart positions follow one another. But if you've got that friend, I mean, I've taken out probably about 6 Love Heart positions for people that I know. There's 2 homeless people that live in Sedgefield that I've taken positions out for. They don't know it yet because I'm going to wait until, they're receiving properly, and then I will teach them about how it works. But you can sponsor any cause that's close to your heart: a church, a caregiver, animal shelter, soup kitchen, a rehab, your domestic worker, your gardener, a medical care center, any place that you find would require charity. And the position will be sponsored by you. So you just follow the link, www.ggmovement.org/loveheart, and there you can sign up. On the form, it will ask you who your invitees are, because we need to do a little bit of a background check and just see if you qualify. And then you put in the details of the person that you want to sponsor. Obviously, in my case, I've got my phone number, but the rest is all of their details, because I'll be handling, the gifts that come in and then hand it over to them once I'm ready. So it's a really, really beautiful initiative, and it's growing very, very nicely. So if you've got those people in mind, rather don't bring them in and try and teach them to do this, because if they don't have a why and they're not motivated, they're going to become space fillers, like Tim said. And space fillers are abundance blockers. So you don't want anybody to block your abundance, because you need to receive yourself. But you also don't want to leave anyone behind. So the Love Heart initiative is a perfect way to do that. So that's our Zooms for the week. So take a picture of this. Like we said, we've got Motivation Monday, and the last 3 Mondays have been absolutely incredible. I've seen so many people become so motivated and sparkles in their eyes since watching those Zooms. So they are recorded, part 1 to 3 with Jenny O'Boyle. Go and have a watch. Really, really great. Then on a Tuesday and a Thursday, we have our presentation for our new community family members. And of course, if you're new and you want to learn as much as possible, like I did when I first joined gifting, come as often as you can to the Zoom calls. Wednesdays, we've got orientation and training workshops. And then on Fridays, we normally unpack various topics. And once a month, I give the stats of how beautifully we're growing. And that is always at 8 p.m. GMT +2. But you'll see on the side, we've got all over the world, and also Afrikaans, Zulu, Asia, Pacific, Spanish, German, Finnish, Italian, Portuguese, French, and so much more. So if you are from somewhere, just ask around and somebody will be able to put you in touch with the correct Telegram group, and of course, the correct Zoom group. But everything that you hear comes from us first, and then it goes globally across the world. So please make sure to join these groups. We've got our Gift of Legacy official community group, the info only, and then my personal favorite, which is the testimonials. We have so many beautiful testimonials for people all around the world that haven't been paid to put their testimonials there. They've just posted them there with so much gratitude to be involved with this incredible community. So please make sure you join those groups, and those are the official groups. All of the information that we share comes from there first, and then it gets spread around the global communities as well. So thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to know more, please make sure to be in contact with the person who invited you. Really important, like I said, if you're raring to go and you want to know the next steps, make sure that you get your payment gateway set up. Learn as much as you can. Go onto YouTube, learn as much as you can about this beautiful community. And we'll see you on those boards, writing the boards of abundance.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for that information. You know, you spoke there at the end about your why, your reason. And that, from my perspective, I do a lot of coaching, teaching on it, is the most important factor. Unfortunately, this is not as easy as it should be, or as it could be. Me personally, I make things difficult for myself sometimes as well. But when you have your why, and you know why you want to do this, then nothing will stop you. So here's a question. Perhaps you want to write this down. We've got a few minutes here. I don't know if we've got time for questions, Candz, you can see. So maybe you want to write this question down. If this works the way that Candz and Tim have said to you this evening, how would it change your life? What would it mean to you? If you followed a set system, as we've shown you, and you do some training, etc., for the next, where are we now? End of August, 4 months. If you did this, you could realistically at least be on the silver, if not the gold board. But let's just say, let's keep it simple. You would have received as a legend on the gold board, and you're on the silver. How much? What was that? $1,200. Let's just talk simple. $1,200 in your pocket, knowing what your future is because you know what the system is going to happen. Would that make a difference for Christmas? If it does, write it down. What would you do? If you did this aggressively and actively, Candz mentioned that the one lady had moved over on a couple of times on her silver board, and you'd been receiving on your gold board already as a legend. How much would additional $6,000 odd? Would that change your life? That's your reason why you want to do this. And yes, it's not always about the money, but as Candz said, it's the money that gives you the things that you need. It gives you the things that you want. It gives you that better Christmas, that holiday, that pay the debt, the school fees, whatever it is. That's why we focus on the money, because it's that money that you need. And that's where you can give back to the community. That's where you can give back to charities. You can get those meals at Christmas for the homeless if that's what your passion is, that's where your heart lies. But what do you need to do in order to get there? Perhaps you did last year and you gave 10 meals away. Well, why didn't you decide to get 1,000 meals away this year, but you need the cash flow to do it? Use Gift of Legacy to get that. That's your why. Know that deep inside. Then the rest doesn't matter. You'll just go and do it. When people say no to you, you'll do it anyway. And you'll just march on forward. Because that's the only way you go. There we go. A little bit. I'm busy putting a whole course together on understand your whys. It's really in my head at the moment. But thank you very much. It's been wonderful to share. We've got 5 minutes for questions. There's been so many things.
If anyone's got any questions, I don't think it's possible for Tim and I, when we're presenting together, to do it in 35 minutes. Like, I salute you, Adele and Tim. I tried.
If you would like to ask, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you're so passionate about something, you can just talk about it forever. And that's the beauty of sharing this from your heart. Because if you truly believe this with all your heart, like Tim said, nothing will stand in your way. No is going to deter you. It's just going to make you get stronger on your path and find people that are going to say yes. Because with every no, you will get closer to a yes.
I'm just reading the chat box here, so please, you've got a question or opinion or thought, put it in the chats. If you want to say out loud, raise your hand. If you've got a question, one question, please. I love what Kashi says here. This is Kashi's why. I can eat 5 organic meals a day. I can start completing my financial amends for my 9th step. I can pay my bills in advance. I can go to Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm with you.
Yeah, me too.
Dr. Joe Dispenza, it's on my dream. He's on my dream movie. He's on my dream wall. He's on my dream list. I'm going there. They're amazing. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. There you go. You've got to put it out. You've got to share it. If you just keep it in here, it means nothing. Share it. Put it out to the community. Tell the people what it is, what your why is, and really makes it real. Question and Candz. Wonderful. Exciting things happening.
Pleasure. Such a pleasure, and so wonderful to see new faces on videos. I always love to look at everyone's faces and just feel the energy and the smiles and the reactions to what we're saying. So it's so wonderful to see new faces. So welcome. This is the most incredible family, and it's just growing and growing and growing. And I'm just so proud to be a part of it. And I'm always such an honor to present with Tim. And thank you, Wingman. Chris is saying awesome presentation. And thank you for the love, because without the love, we won't be able to do anything. You don't have the love for this from your heart, you won't be able to move.
That's so true. We speak about money being important, but what actually ends up happening is the money comes secondary to the relationships, the friendships, the community, the support that you get. Sort of, oh, by the way, we make money as well. It's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. That's how I've been talking to people about it. I try to keep the money element out of it as far as possible until, you know, right at the end, where they are sold on the community and the values and the beauty of what we're doing to change the world and to change our reality. The money is just an added extra. Yes, I was brought in because of the promise of the money, but I chased the money for such a long time on the precursor program, and I didn't focus on my community, you know, and I landed up with so many inherited positions, like Tim was saying, because so many people I brought in, I didn't nurture them. I didn't nurture them and teach them how important it is to nurture the people that they bring in. So I also inherited a lot of positions, and that was in the precursor program, so I was able to leave them all behind. But this was an opportunity with Gift of Legacy to start afresh. And so many people didn't learn their lessons from the precursor program, and they brought the dead wood along in the hopes that it would work. And I must just say, for all the migrators that are out there, you know, you might have got lucky because you didn't bring 2 people. And with all the movements of everyone joining, you managed to maybe get gifted as a legend. And that's amazing. And you were like, wow, this is incredible. I got gifted as a legend. But in the back of your mind, you know, you didn't bring those 2 people. So then you went onto your perpetual journey, and you landed up with a whole lot of other migrators that were in the same mindset as you. And all of a sudden, things got stuck and they slowed down. But what slowed down? Everybody that joined slowed down. Gift of Legacy didn't slow down. I know Portuguese communities and Spanish communities and Latin American communities that are doing so well, spinning those boards perpetually. If we're not bringing the people, we cannot expect to move. And even if you're on a board that's stuck, if you were bringing in enough people, you on your own would be able to help that board to move. And especially since we've got the board splitting, think about it. If you're a legend, you've brought in your guide, your 2 builders, and then there's 4 gifters. That's like 7 people that you need to really focus on. We always say the golden number is 8. If you can bring in 8 like-minded, like-hearted people, oh my goodness, that will be like the golden nugget that will take you through to the platinum board, as long as you nurture all those relationships.
So true. Wonderful words of wisdom there. There we go.
Yeah.
And she gave it up for free as well.
So tomorrow we've got part 3 of our replay from the first year in our gifting economy. And then next week, Wednesday, I will be presenting roles and responsibilities as you move through the boards. Wow, I've redone my presentation. I thought it would take me really quick and I would do the recording, but I spent 5 hours redoing it because so much has changed from the beginning. But again, it's an opportunity to look back and go, wow, how incredible that we've changed so much that I've got to do a whole new presentation explaining the roles and responsibilities as you move through the boards. So that'll be next week. Tomorrow is your first year in a gifting economy, valuable information. And yeah, it just keeps getting better.
Amazing stuff. Thank you all very much.
Take care, everybody. Keep plugged in. That's where the magic is.
Definitely, definitely. Good night, everybody.